we are back again with the second episode of What's Up with Women's Cricket with me, Shweta Haranhalli. A weekly roundup of everything surrounding women's sport, especially the Indian women's cricket team. The last time we spoke about Jhulan Goswami and her impending retirement, and India aiming to finish the series on a high to give the legend of Indian cricket a fitting farewell. Well, they did exactly that as the Indian women's team recorded a 3-0 series win against England in their own backyard. It was an emotional Saturday for all the fans of Indian cricket as Jhulan Goswami was set to feature in her final ODI game at the home of cricket. A long huddle before the start of play by India with members of the team sharing their experiences of playing with the stalwart ended with a video that managed to break the internet a few hours later as Harmanpreet Kaur was in tears minutes before the toss. If only words could do justice to the emotions felt at Lord's. India had a nervy start to the innings and were tottering at 148 for 7 when Goswami walked in to take centre stage. The home of cricket stood up in appreciation for one of the legends of women's sport, and the young England players led by Amy Jones gave her guard of honour. She was all welled up when she joined her Bengal teammate out in the middle. However, not all fairy tales have a happy ending as the 39-year-old was dismissed for a golden duck in her final innings with the bat. With only 169 runs on the board, India needed Jhulan Goswami more than ever to dismiss the lackluster England batting unit. And it was time for her final 3 hours of international career as she stepped on the field, with the Indian players giving her a guard of honour. A few tears behind the sunglasses would be an understatement as the women in blue walked her to her bowling mark. And it was time for some live action to commence. A deep breath in and a few glances up to the sky. It was business as usual for Goswami as she started with a maiden. In the next 3 hours that followed, Indian cricket could witness the change of guard as Renuka Thakur wreaked havoc to scalp 4 wickets in the second innings to dent England. However, in a low-scoring encounter with Charlie Dean and Kate Cross taking England ahead in the middle overs, Harmanpreet Kaur brought her premier bowler back into the attack. And guess what? In the final over of her international career, she managed to pick up the vital wicket of Kate Cross on the second delivery to put India on the cusp of the clean sweep. 4 balls left and 1 wicket required. Can she have a perfect end to her career? Well, not to be, as a firm push on the final delivery by Freya Davis resulted in the veteran seamer drawing curtains to her 2-decade glittering career. With each member of the team running towards Goswami and applauding her contribution to the sport, the home of cricket once again gave her a standing ovation as she bowed out of international cricket with a couple of scalps in her final outing. While the match ended with a run-out of Charlie Dean packing up at the non-striker's end, which divided the cricketing world in the spirit of cricket debate and the laws of the game, we genuinely hope it does not take the shine away from Jhulan Goswami's illustrious career. 2 years ago, a kilometre away from where we're recording this, in the heart of Bengaluru, Chinnaswamy Stadium was buzzing with excitement as Bengal was set to take on Mumbai in a must-win encounter in the Senior Women's One-Day Trophy. 2 heavyweights of domestic cricket locking horns, and it couldn't have been a better stage. For someone I have admired growing up and the reason why I followed my passion to the game, it was a special moment for me as we walked for the all-important toss. While the game was played in high competitive spirit from both the sides, it was business as usual for Jhulan Goswami as post the completion of the high-voltage clash, she spoke at length to the bowling unit of Mumbai, sharing her experiences. There ain't any record that has not been breached in women's cricket by the pacer. But more than the record, she's inspired a generation to dream big and follow their passion. And on behalf of thousands of kids who dreamt of bowling fast and emulating your heroics, a big thank you for leading the way in a tunnel full of darkness and lighting it up with your constant guidance. With the Indian team riding high on confidence after their dominance in the white ball series against England, they have little time to celebrate as they now head for the all-important Asia Cup starting on 1st of October. The tournament is returning after a gap of 4 years, with Bangladesh, the defending champions, taking on Thailand in the opening clash. With consistent performances in the T20 World Cup Down Under and the recently concluded Commonwealth game, there is no doubt that India will enter the tournament as one of the firm favourites. The women in blue will lock horns against Sri Lanka in their first game on the 1st of October, followed by matches against Malaysia and UAE on October 3rd and 4th, before the much-awaited clash against arch-rivals Pakistan on October 7th. While the team have retained the same players that featured in the T20 series against England, the big news coming from the Indian camp is that Jemimah Rodrigues has returned to the side after missing the Women's 100 and the white ball series against England due to her wrist injury. The right-handed batter was under rehabilitation at the National Cricket Academy and is expected to be fit in time for the mega event. Kiran Navgire, who made her debut in the first T20I against England, has retained her place in the side along with Hemlata, who struggled with scores of 10, 9 and 0 in the 3 outings against England. On the bowling front, Renuka Thakur, Meghna Singh and Pooja Vastrakar will shoulder the responsibility of the side in the fast bowling department. The women in blue have named a spin-heavy bowling unit with Rajeshwari Gaikwad, Sneha Rana, Radha Yadav and Dipti Sharma in the ranks. And while we are on the topic of T20s, there is another massive news coming in as Sourav Ganguly, the BCCI president, has confirmed the inception of the Women's IPL starting early 2023. While we are waiting for the official updates surrounding the same, the timing of this could not have been any better considering India's performance in the Commonwealth Games and the white ball series against England. We all know the impact of the Women's Big Bash League and the 100 on the growth and development of young cricketers in Australia and England. The inception of the Women's IPL will just create a revolution in women's sport that will help India, hopefully, clinch the elusive world title. Well, that's it from my end. I hope you guys have a wonderful week ahead and do stay tuned for all the action and all the updates surrounding the Women's Asia Cup. That's me, Shweta Haranhalli, signing off.